So this title may be a little overdramatic, but if you stick with me, I'll kind of explain why. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Women are sometimes too nice to men to a fault, but it's because we're avoiding the potential scenario of what has been happening in the news lately, where story after story of all of these mass shooters doing what they did because they were rejected, and like, I don't want to be part of that statistic. So like, New Orleans is a fairly interesting place, and a lot of the things leading up to this conversation I had are not terribly uncommon because we're all kind of friendly to each other here. So I'm at a bar and my boyfriend is playing on stage, and so I'm at one of the closest tables to the stage facing him performing. And this guy comes up and asks if he can take the seat on the other side of the table. And while I don't own the tables or the chairs, and I don't particularly care that I'm sharing a table with a random stranger because networking is totally normal in New Orleans. So he has a seat across from me. He starts normal enough, gives me his hand and introduces himself, and I have immediately picked on that he has an accent, so I ask him where he's from, as you do, because everyone in New Orleans is from somewhere, especially with an obvious accent. And he tells me he's from Australia, and he actually just made his first year living here in New Orleans. And then he had to ask me what like Cajun Creole was, and how that happened, and like where is it, and I gave him a slight history. That was probably the last thing that I actually offered to the rest of this conversation, as he just delved into his history. So now things are getting interesting. He said he was going to be promoted to vice president of this international company that he works for, and he was going to get the promotion like 3 years ago, but he wasn't ready for it. But there was this girl that he was dating that he was about to propose to at the time, and bought the ring. The day he was going to propose to her, decided to break up with her instead. I don't know why I needed to know this information, but okay. Also admitted that he wanted to sleep with this girl's sister at some point, and I don't know why I needed to know that information either. He returned the ring for $8,000, and he's like putting it on the tattoo, and I do that thing where like, yeah, I just got my first one. He's like, cool, if you're not interested, you're not interested, but I don't think that I'm portraying extra interest when I'm not, but you continue. 30 minutes into this conversation, and he just flat up tells me that he finds me attractive. And also, he's aware at this point that the guy on stage is my boyfriend, and then he asks me if I am attracted to him. No, he's not an unattractive guy, it's just I am not particularly attracted to him. And also, that's a weird question to ask when you know that's my boyfriend like 3 feet from you, but okay. And then he asks if my boyfriend wasn't here right now, if I would kiss him. No, like it's not just because he's here right now, but also just we don't have that kind of connection at this point. You just talked at me for 30 minutes. So my boyfriend finishes up his set and gets off stage, and like the two introduce themselves, but my boyfriend is also like not the confrontational manly type, so he then wanders to the bar, finishes getting paid for his gig, and leaves me to deal with like this dude who wants to know why I won't kiss him. And I'm just like, do you need a reason? Do you really need a reason? And he's like, I mean, is it because I'm short? No, it's just because this whole interaction is freaking bizarre, even for New Orleans. Yes, in New Orleans, people meet as strangers and leave as friends. Like, that's a normal thing. How long ago was the breakup with this girl? 3 years ago. 3 years ago, he broke up with this girl that I don't think he's over because he's still bringing it up. And like, I just don't even know what happened. So no, I guess he wasn't an incel because he had this girlfriend, but I was not gonna kiss him. I don't think I owed him an explanation for that. Like, that's a weird question to ask. He said he wasn't drunk, he was on muscle relaxers because he's literally gonna go get his tattoo done now. Like, as soon as we left, we watch him leave and walk into the tattoo place right next door, and we're just like, I can't be okay. Men, women do not owe you an explanation as to why they don't want to do things with you. That is not necessary. Sometimes they just don't want to do this. In any case, we left shortly after that, and I didn't really have to answer this question, which was good because I just wanted to get out of that situation. All right, so the thing is, just this year, we've had 101 mass shootings, and it's only June. Story after story after story seems to be a white guy who is rejected. And I don't want to be the cause of some of those numbers, but I also like don't owe you an explanation. Just don't kill me. And that is all I could think about when he asked me this question. He seemed like a nice enough guy at first, but then he seemed like a crazy person, and well, I just didn't. That's fair, right? I feel like that's fair. Anyhow, Anywho, that is all for this video. Leave a comment down below if you've had like a crazy weird story similar to this one so that I know I'm not alone, please. And like this video if you share my frustration. Hit the subscribe button down below for more videos kinda like this one. Hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified every time I post every other Thursday. Check the description box down below to links to my Twitch gaming channel, Facebook, and Twitter. That is all for this week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.